Hello everybody, right, let's have a look at some of these coins, and I'm not your financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but let's just have a little look anyway, shall we? So, here we go with Bitcoin. We'll start with Bitcoin. So yesterday we were watching these moves come in and we broke above this 50 EMA, which is a big deal. It is a big deal, but like we expected, we found rejection getting closer to the 200 EMA, which is just around 10,200, and that's where I expect to see us sort of find another sell-off and be bouncing around this region. It looks like the 50 has now become a bit of support, but all this is doing now is giving us a smaller trading range, and it's this area between 9,800 and 10,200 is the this is where the battle's going to really kick off. And I'll tell you why. It's because what this needs to do here, you see this this 50 EMA, and we'll just have a look at it on the daily. Okay, so the daily is way above, and it's way above this 200 on the daily, which is a good sign for the long-term trend. But on the short to mid-term trend, it's classed as a death cross from back here. So that death cross started this trend all the way down here, but if this goes back above this 200 EMA, it's a golden cross. Now the golden cross, depending on how it takes place, is always good. This needs to become a little more erect and raised, obviously, and the way to do that is for it to stay above it. If it can stay above it and trade amongst this area here, this will certainly move back up this and cross over here, and that would signify a sort of recovery after this consolidation period. Now we have broken out of this trend line. This trend line has been broken, which is good, and we are above the 50 EMA, which is good, and we're above all the other moving averages, which is also good. So there is a good chance that we're not going to come back down to test this 9,200 area, which is where I expect us to go in the next week or so. The odds are now in favour of another test of this area, the 10,200, and it's all about that. If we can test that and break above that and stay above that for a few days, then we're probably looking to make some more recovery back up to 11,000 and possibly 11,000, getting towards 12. Yeah, but at the moment, this little area here, this tiny little area, $400 worth of area, is going to be fought over dramatically by the bulls and the bears, and depending on who wins, signifies the next big move. At the moment, we're looking to perhaps make another test of this area up here, the 10,200, but I would expect a sell-off, bringing us back down, and depending on if we bounce on here or come back down, if I was to really put my money on it, I would probably say we're going up in the very short term and then back down in the medium term. That's just what I expect. I know that this is a sort of a higher high, and we're making higher lows, but this is a strong area here, and we're still in the death cross territory. So it's a no trader for me until we break above this. And to be honest with you, I'm really waiting for this golden cross to take place before I make any more longs on this guy. I might make a long if we come back down, depending on where we come back down, but I might make another long around here, but that's still relatively dangerous, because I do expect if this gets tested and it's a deeper test to around 9,000, it would be broken and we'd be down to 8,500. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like I say, probably over the next week we will find our way back down here, but there's no guarantee. We're right in the middle again. So we'll move on to some of these other coins. So alts are all taking a huge hit, massive hit. Matic making brand new lows on the Bitcoin pairing. Looks like we might even want to come back down to around 100 Satoshis. A huge loss we've suffered here, and no sign of a bounce either. The tether chart again making new lows, not a good sign at all. BitTorrent token holding up reasonably well, but still suffering with the rest of the with the rest of the market. And actually, as we thought yesterday, we ticked down another Satoshi, making a new low of 7, which is pretty bad. So we'll have a look at this guy here, Phantom. Phantom, I think, has a relatively good future long term, but what we have now seen is that despite big sell-offs, it's actually making relatively decent moves just currently. And I tell you something, we need to make a bigger move now, and if we don't, we will have a death cross here, and that death cross will punish Phantom. It'll punish it quite hard, probably, making, I wouldn't be surprised if it over time made newer lows. So we're on the Bitcoin here, so probably back down to around 175 Satoshis. We look at the Tether chart. The Tether chart is it's not looking great. We're probably going to be coming down on this one, I'd say. Celr, again, just like Matic, suffering hard, falling hard. These small trading ranges here has broken to the down, and there's definitely more down to be had. And when we look at the Bitcoin pairing, we see exactly that. We see all the indicators moving down, more down to be had on this one. So a lot of pain there on those IEOs. So we'll move on here to ERD, but well run. So Bitcoin pairing down across the board. These are all down. These are sharp sell-offs. The market is being hit hard. And again, when we look at the situation with the Tether pairing, hit hard. So it's a very bad day. A very bad day indeed for all these guys. The only thing we could hope for is for Bitcoin to actually fall, and to continue to fall, and to plateau actually at a lower level. At the moment, Bitcoin is still very dominant. It's receded some, but it's starting to make sort of climbs back up again. It's going to take a while now, probably a few weeks before anything changes in this situation. Bitcoin is going to be pumping hard with the dominance, if not with its Tether pairing. Things are going to be carrying on with that, and I'd say for another 3 weeks before alts even get a chance. I'll give it 3 weeks, and just under 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks. And the reason I say that is we did map out here, it's not here now, but we did map out the fact that these trajectories are all kind of going to start to converge in around 2 weeks. That's if we don't make even lower lows. The fact that we're making lower lows will probably suggest that a lot of these coins will be eked out even further. So maybe we'll have to see how it goes on a daily basis before we can map out that trajectory. But a minimum of 2.5 weeks for these coins to start to recover. At the moment, there's no recovery in sight. New lows being made across the board. There's only a handful of coins that are moving with the Bitcoin trend, and we don't look at those. I mean, they stand for themselves. They're the guys like Litecoin. Obviously, has got a halving event taking place any day now in the next few days. So yeah, I am holding Litecoin. I've been holding it for a while, waiting for that. But even saying that, Litecoin is a good mover, but it's not really moving the way we anticipated it to move. We thought there'd be stronger moves than there is now. So that halving event might just be a red herring. We don't really know. Be interesting to see what happens after the halving event. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. I really appreciate you watching and subscribing, and put your notifications on if you want to watch these videos daily, because I do try to make them daily. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.